I think if you look at the arc of the history of the University of Portland, you will see it's punctuated along the way with remarkable gifts from Bob and Elsie. This gift for the River Campus, what we used to call the River Campus, we now call the Franz Campus, is, as we say in the business, transformational.
He was focused, he was intelligent, he knew what he wanted to do, and he wanted to get it done.
It was the type of person you could rely upon. If you asked for some information, asked for some advice, he would give it, and it would be good advice.
If I did word association, I certainly think of things like integrity and directness and loyalty.
Well, Bob was very low-key. He didn't let anybody know really what he was worth or why.
He was really a very whole person, and a guy who really appreciated the ways of the world and yet was very close to God.
She was a demanding business leader herself. Whatever she wanted it to be done right.
So I would show up periodically and give her progress reports on what was happening. She would flip through the photos and the PowerPoint slides and others pretty quickly, and she'd want to go to the spreadsheets. She was right at home in the world of accounting, finance, spreadsheets, etc. He graduated from Columbia Prep and then went on to the University of Notre Dame, where he deepened his relationship with the Congregation of Holy Cross.
Coming on the campus and being taught by the Holy Cross priests was almost a total revelation to me. It was an experience I had never experienced before.
We live in the midst of the people that we minister to.
Through that process, he became very much aware of and supportive of what our mission was and what we did.
It's a very homey feeling.
Bob literally shocked me. He said to me then, he said, well, you know, I've watched over the years where there'll be a momentum like a wave, and the wave goes up like this, and it goes back down. And he said, if this gift in this building will get the wave to go over, he said, at least I'm in. And Elsie said, I'm in too.
Somebody had to step forward, and somehow I was standing there when they chose up the numbers, and I was one of the ones who was picked to be out in the front.
They did not want the University of Portland to remain flat. It was going to advance, and they were going to, if they could help, they were going to do it.
And so that's how Franz Hall came to be. I had an executive vice president who was a professional banker, so to speak, had always been a banker. One day he came into my office and he said, well, you're not really a banker. He said, you're an entrepreneur.
I asked Bob one time, why did you endow a chair in entrepreneurship? And he said, look at the buildings around the university. Look at the university. It's been built by entrepreneurs who have donated their money. And he said, 50 years from now, who is going to build the university? Who is going to be able to provide the resources necessary to maintain this university? And it's going to be entrepreneurs.
Bob and Elsie both wanted to support entrepreneurship, leadership, innovation at the University of Portland. Both of them were very accomplished business people. I think they believed in business as a tremendous way to do good in the world. So they looked at our aspirations to provide training in entrepreneurship, and they said this jives so nicely with things they had dedicated their entire professional lives to.
And I had heard that there had been programs of this type that had looked for promising young people who had leadership skills. And so I thought, well, you know, this is an opportunity to do that. And thus was born the entrepreneurship program at the university.
She had a great story to tell. She actually had a time that she spent in Providence Medical Center. She had exposure to University of Portland trained nurses, and that led her to contact us and say that she wanted to do something directly for the nursing program. So she also had a great warm spot in her heart for UP nurses. They truly were best friends, and they drew an enormous amount of support from each other.
They loved each other deeply, and it's been an unbelievable friendship for a number of years.
Both of them served on our Board of Regents. To have them as rock-solid supporters of the university, it just gives, especially a president, it gives you just a sense that just inspires such confidence, and it allows you the freedom to know that there are people who always have your back.
They were so humble. They never sought praise. They never sought for their name to be on anything. They just wanted to do the best for the students and for the future of the university. And that was a very unique humility for people of their capacity and their intelligence.
Bob and Elsie both were people that were always thinking into the future.
You felt that if you had a project and you didn't have what you needed to complete it, they would help you.
He's a grower. He likes to grow things, and he likes to build things. And I think that's what he liked about the university. He wanted to build the university. He wanted to grow it.
The university has come so far, particularly in the last 20 years. You know, it's just unbelievable what's been happening.
Bob and Elsie have been with us through thick and thin. They were tremendous supporters when we had very little in terms of resources for the university, and they have helped to celebrate the successes that we've known along the way. I think for both Bob and Elsie, the river property represents the future of UP.
There's just no end to what's happening, and I hope it stays that way.